Hello viewer, welcome to GBS Sports Morning Extra. I'll be your host, John Gige. On today's show, we have a lot to discuss about, including the weekend's English Premier League fixtures and also the nominees to the Ballon d'Or 2019. To help me discuss all this story, I have my analyst over here, David. Karibu sana kwa set. Kwa uliamuka aje leo?
Amka tu poa labda wewe.
Pia mimi niko salama. Sasa tuanze moja kwa moja kwa story yetu ya Ballon d'Or. The 2019 name is the nominees are finally out. We are having Messi, Ronaldo and Van Dijk topping the top 3 list. First of all, before we discuss the other shortlisted personnel, let's start by Messi, Ronaldo and Van Dijk, the top 3.
Yes.
Did you expect this list?
Yes, of course I expected this, but I thought Alisson should have been there. But you know, he won the UEFA Champions League.
Yes.
UEFA Champions League Golden Glove, UEFA Champions League Winners Medal, the Premier League Golden Glove and the Copa America Winners Medal.
But looking at these 3 names, both of them have accomplished a lot last season. If you look at Messi, he was the top scorer with Barcelona, and also they won the Spanish La Liga. We are having Ronaldo, who is a UEFA Nations League debutant winner, and also we are having Virgil van Dijk, UEFA Champions League winner. So, does this credit merit them to be there?
Yes, I think both deserve to be there.
Yes.
But in terms of, you know, first of all, they consider the trophies.
Yes.
Then when you have matched the trophies, they come the individuals, what you have performed. They both had great seasons. Messi had a good scoring season, but he only had a good domestic season.
Yes.
Because he only won the league, just as also Mbappe won the league, Ronaldo won the league. But now it becomes to international, the biggest trophy. Now Van Dijk won the biggest trophy in that season, so I think Van Dijk will be the favorite there.
So for you, Van Dijk remains the favorite?
Yes, he's the favorite.
We are talking about Messi and Cristiano Ronaldo. They have been this list for quite a long time.
Yes.
So what makes you think that this time round they are not going to
No.
outshine Van Dijk?
Van Dijk, you know, as this is the first time, so it means he has done something special. Ronaldo, this is usual, but you know, when you compare to the previous seasons, in the Champions League he was the top scorer, but this season was not the top scorer. But as of Messi, you know, he only had a La Liga title win. But when you compare, Liverpool last season had a great season. So of course, if you have to give the award to the best player, it has to be the best player of the best team in the last season.
Okay, so coming in the 4th position, we are having Alisson Becker, Sadio Mane in the 5th place, Mohamed Salah coming in the 6th place, which is a very huge surprise and shock to footballing world. We are also having Eden Hazard, Matthew De Ligt, Frank de Jong and Raheem Sterling. Before we go to the next story, Mohamed Salah.
Mohamed Salah had a good season, but you know they compare to the previous season. When you compare that season with the previous one, you think that he had flopped. Last season he had 10 goals in Champions League, but this season he only scored 4.
But he was the top scorer in English Premier League.
So was Messi.
But the difference is that Mohamed Salah form was not, he didn't replicate the form that he had last season, whereby he won the Golden Boot alone. Bearing in mind this, the season that just ended, Mohamed Salah finished with tied 22 goals with Aubameyang and Sadio Mane.
And also when you include there, you say Van Dijk.
Yes.
Liverpool has the best defense in the previous season because Van Dijk and Alisson. So when people talk, they talk about the defense. Now it's not the attack. If you talk about the attack, it's the trio, Firmino, Sadio Mane. So what Salah did, Mane did it better. So I am not surprised Salah being there.
Okay, so viewer, remember Kenya Premier League will start as it was stated, and we are going to be having the first match, which is going to be Gor Mahia facing Bandari. That is the curtain raiser of the Kenya Premier League, despite the SportPesa issue. So Kenya Premier League will continue as it was planned. So let's get into the English Premier League actions, whereby we are having quite interesting matches to watch out for, including the highlight match, which is Manchester City versus Tottenham. David, we start there. Manchester City versus Tottenham. A huge game Bearing in mind Manchester City started the season very well, scoring 5 goals against West Ham United, and Tottenham started the league winning 3-1 against Aston Villa. The shape of this game, to you,
This game,
are there going to be goals or we are going to see clean sheets?
of course, when City plays, you expect goals. The likes of Sterling, Aguero, Harry Kane, you mean Song and Lucas Moura, you expect goals. This is a big game. I think this is the biggest game of so far this season. I think Man City will be at Etihad, so I think Man City will have more for Tottenham. I think Tottenham will have to trail in that game.
Okay, bearing in mind the previous game, Ika Gundogan and Sergio Aguero and Bernardo Silva came as substitutes. And Mourinho was quoted in the Sky Sports saying that Manchester City B can win the Premier League.
You know, Man City has good players. In fact, not good players, great players. When you compare them to the other top 6 teams, Man City, you know, if the B team of Man City, you know, in fact, you cannot differentiate between B team and A team. You can see Bernardo Silva in A team. Sometimes you can see him in B team. So I think Man City, you have in every position, like right back, you have Joao Cancelo, you have Kyle Walker. So when you go to Manchester United, they only have Wan-Bissaka. Yes. When you go to Arsenal, they only have Bellerin and he's injured. So you can't compare these teams. I think Man City won the league and also they went and strengthened their squad. So this makes them better. Guardiola wants to make a better team than they were last season. I think this season he's aiming high, and I think they'll beat Tottenham in that game.
Okay, the guys who are going to miss these games include in the Manchester City lineup, we are having Leroy Sané, who is sidelined with a knee injury. We are also having Benjamin Mendy, who is recovering. In the side of Tottenham, we are having Dele Alli with a hamstring problem, and also Ben Davies facing late fitness. For me, I think Manchester City are okay, but for Tottenham
are not okay. Of course, they will miss them, but you know, for Man City, they won't miss anyone. Man City is Man City, with or without anyone. So that comes the difference between those teams. So if Man City doesn't rely on anyone, but Tottenham will want to rely on Harry Kane. So if Harry Kane goes missing in the match, so as Tottenham will.
And they will really miss Kieran Trippier.
Yeah.
Okay, so we are having also other fixtures that are going to be happening. Of course, Arsenal will be entertaining Burnley in the Emirates Stadium. Manchester United will be playing on Monday, that is Monday Night Football, against Wolves, who have been a very stubborn to Manchester United. Are they going to repeat the same?
I don't know if they'll repeat the same. Of course, Manchester United they have reinforced. Their problem was defense, and they have had Wan-Bissaka and Harry Maguire. So when we saw the last match against Chelsea, we could see that Manchester United, we couldn't see the errors they did in the last season. So this will be a tough season.
But they say when these big teams play against other big teams, they put their top level performance. Are we not going to see some shaky moments in Manchester United defense?
Of course, we will have to see. This is the match they will be tested. No, they are only played home. Now they will be traveling to Wolves. I think Wolves will also, it will be a tough match. I think it will end as a draw.
As a draw.
Yes.
Chelsea and Leicester. A very high-scoring game. For me, I think Chelsea played well in the UEFA Super Cup. And also they played well during the Manchester United game. Yes. It's just that they didn't take their chances. Coming against an attacking team like Leicester, what do we expect?
This will be a game with high tempo. I think it will be attack from the start to the end. No team will be defending. And also, as we have seen, Chelsea is playing very well. Of course, I'm starting to be a big fan of Frank Lampard as a manager. Yes. It's only that he doesn't have the right players. You see, his defense is so leaky. So when you compare him, but also Leicester they sold Maguire, they didn't replace him, but they have Soyuncu who had a very good game against Wolves. So I think this game is going to be a draw.
Okay, viewer, remember the English Premier League once more will be able to provide us with attacking these players. We are calling them the trio that attack football very well, that will be able to see for the first time. Maybe Lacazette, Aubameyang and Pepe playing for the first time, and also Mohamed Salah, Roberto Firmino and Sadio Mane coming into action this weekend. And also we are also anticipating to see another trio attack, that is Lingard, Martial and Rashford. That is for Manchester United case. I know if I didn't mention this, Manchester United fans will be furious because they are calling it the attacking trio this time round. So your last comments before we wind up the show, David, about the sporting action and especially the English Premier League. So are we in for many goals or we'll see some clean sheets?
Well, first of all, I will tell the ladies, if we ignore them, they should understand that it's football.
Yes.
But when the Premier League is back, you expect some excitement. We are excited to see the Pepe playing for Arsenal, the first home game. Then we'll be expecting Manchester United to drop points as Arsenal fans. I'm sorry, Richard, where you are watching us from.
Yes.
But as of Chelsea, it'll be very good matches. As Arsenal, I think Arsenal will need to win so they'll get in momentum. The next game they'll be traveling to Anfield. And also Liverpool will have to win against Tottenham, but they were tired. They also played until the extra time. They played 120 minutes and went to penalties. So they are tired and I think they need to recharge.
Okay, they need to recharge. That is David's sentiments before we wind up the show. Remember, the conversation continues on through our platforms, that is GBS TV Kenya. For us here in the sports desk, it's a wrap. Entertainment comes next to you.